Hello, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to click the red subscribe button below. That'll allow you to see more of my videos as they become available. I do a lot of paper crafting and junk journals and tutorials. Always busy, always something going on in this channel. Anyway, I have two journals today. These are for Louise, and I know she's been waiting very patiently for them. I need to get them out in the mail today, so I want to do a flip through and show you what I have done. She does not really like pink. She said no pink, no paisleys, no owls. And of course there's pink touches. I mean, the pink is a color in a lot of the things I use, but the main color scheme, this one is a lot of golds and greens and purples, and then this one is a lot of browns and blues and tans and stuff like that. So I'm so excited to share these with you. So we're going to start with this one, and this is showcasing two different kits. This is Honeybee Ephemera by Digital Curio, and I showed you how I was prepping the pages for this journal in a previous video. So this is it completed. And then since Digital Curio only had papers, she didn't have ephemera, I used some of the ephemera from SenecaPondCrafts, the Practical Beekeeper. And the two went together absolutely beautifully. So you'll want to check out Digital Curio, Honeybee Ephemera, and SenecaPondCrafts, the Practical Beekeeper. All right, so here we go. I have purple lace on the front and back cover. Look at this design. I know I've showed it before, but I just, and then I did like honeycomb stitching all the way around it. This is a die cut, and then this is my handwriting on some coffee dyed paper. It says notes, and so we're gonna get right into it. The inside is just an ivory cardstock, and then I put a tuck spot. This is from SenecaPondCrafts, and look at how perfectly it goes. It even has like the purple in it. And then a little flower. There's a Phase 10 card, and this is from, I think it's called Wordsters. It's a game of like categories, but it's some of that pad there. So I added that. And then more from SenecaPondCrafts here. And then a little vocabulary card clipped on. There's coffee dyed paper in here. I've done little bits of stamping. My usual touches. A little bit of ledger paper here on the side. This postcard is from SenecaPondCrafts. I did a little stitching here, and then I added some pieces of ephemera and journaling card just tucked in there. Just a label, and then I stamped that bee. That's a Graphic 45 bee. I love the nature stamps. I just think they go so amazing. This is like a tag that you can color, and I just turned it into this tuck spot. There's a cut apart, and then a little coin wrapper. This is one of my favorite pages from the Digital Curio because these are like handwritten music, and I just think it's so gorgeous. So there's a little die cut and a glittered flower sticker. Got some Tim Holtz going on here, and then we've got a button. More SenecaPond. It's a little, what's that called? Postcard. Then a Project Life card. Some little bee stamping. This is also SenecaPond. All of the bee ephemera is SenecaPond, and all of the pages are Digital Curio. So I don't have to keep saying that. Beautiful middle spread. The purple is just incredible. But since there's not much you can't write on it unless you're going to put a picture, I have two wallpaper tuck spots, and then just some little pieces to journal on. And then these little leaves. Coffee dyed tag. Here's some vintage fabric from Tiny Home Treasures on Instagram that was left over from my automobile journals. Some black lace. And what I did with some of the journal pages from the Practical Beekeeper, I printed them half size so that they were ephemera that I could put in here, and I stitched down the middle here. It kind of looks like a little book, and you could make it a book, or I wanted to leave it open so that you could get the full effect of both sides of it in the journal. Okay, this is a little clasp envelope, and it is glued on here. A little bit of black, like jean material is covering the adhesive on the inside. And then you have room to put pictures or journal. And then you can put things all the way in here, like maybe things that you want to hide or extra journaling, you know, things you tuck away that you don't need to pull out all the time. And then you can also tuck something in the front here. You can put something here. And then I have a Project Life card with a little coffee dyed bee stamp right there on the front. So much extra added here. And then you have that whole space as well. I really like, most of my journals are writing journals, but I really like to capitalize on that space too. Cute little envelope that I didn't glue together, so you can write on the inside before you glue it together. Have a little secret journaling there. Sewed on some leaves. There's more of that like black jean material. Oh, there is a little gold leaf charm on that paper clip. And then little bee ephemera there from Seneca Pond. A little construction paper pocket, and then this is an actual photo. I got it in some Happy Mail. I don't even remember which one. I get a lot of Happy Mail, but I just thought that was so sweet. It's like, I kept thinking like Be Mine or Queen Bee or something like that. And so little vintage picture in there, and then a Project Life card tucked in there. And then there's a little flash card tucked in here that can come out, and you can add more little pictures or things, a Rolodex card, and you can tuck photos or things behind there as well as journal on it. And so this is number 1, Lori Louise. And then number 2, I love this cover. I love it. It just came together so well. I knew I wanted to make it different and have it really stand out. And I made the leaves for these flowers. I had all these flowers in my stash. And then this is some of that vintage fabric from Tiny Home Treasures, and I just gathered it up with my sewing machine and tucked it in like they were 2 leaves. And I just think it's so beautiful. And then it's all stitched around. This is like a, kind of like a texture. It doesn't feel that textured, but it looks textured, like a tan. She liked those colors. Now, what I'm showcasing in this journal mainly, this is kind of like a travel, vintage travel-ish, but it's like a travel botanical journal. So I did it all, and I have bits and pieces throughout from different shops, but my main focus was Love Junk Journals by Tracy Fox. She sent me the tour, her embellished the tour, and when she does stitching on them and things like that, so you get all that effect. It's amazing. I am so impressed with her work when she sent it. And then she also sent me botanical ones. And so you have to check out Love Junk Journals on Etsy, and I will put that link below as well, because she has a whole bunch of travel and botanical, but the colors, they mesh together so well with this journal. So here's one of them, and then this is from my shop. These are my drawing cards that I offer in my shop, and this is a swan. And then this is a real postcard, and it has that really pretty writing on it, and this is from 1942. So, and this is from Luxembourg, and I got this from Terry over in there. She sent it to me. I'm pretty sure she sent me this one since she's from Luxembourg. And I just thought to have a real vintage postcard in this travel journal would be amazing. And then let's talk about liquid gold when it comes to, not literally, but figuratively, when it comes to junk journal scraps. SenecaPondCrafts. Oh my word. I love her background papers. And every time I find, like, I just had scraps of her paper, and it's like, oh yes. I mean, if you really want something you will use over and over again, get her background papers. Any of her kits have so many background papers. And then, because look, I mean, you just slap it right on there and it makes a beautiful page. So I was so happy that I had that in my stash still. Here's a playing card that's been like blown up, and it's a vintage one. And I just added that here. I just thought the colors were beautiful. Here's some floral, like gardening pages. This is from Tracy. And Tracy, it also includes some background. She has 2 background pages as well, a lighter and a darker color. And so I printed them on the back of all of her ephemera. So it is already like ready to journal on and age. You don't have to sew it onto anything. Her faux stitching, well, it's not, I think she actually really stitched it and then scanned it. But for us, you know, you can't feel the stitching, but you can see it. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you want to buy her embellished stuff because it looks like you have a sewing machine. These are from a vintage book from 1917, I believe, and they're embroidery patterns. So I thought those were really neat, and I added one of those in there. This is from a vintage 1950s children's reader. And then here's one of her pockets from the tour. And then I just added, this is from my Blue Skies collection. And I just added these little bird heads on there. And then I believe that Joanne sent me this. And she sent me so many pieces that she has done. They're so gorgeous. I have been tucking them in the journals. Thank you so much, Joanne. And we're going to be doing an embellishment swap. I want to get that out to her as soon as possible. I love her work. Really, really bumps my journals to the next level. So thank you, Joanne. Here's another one of Tracy's. I love this Imperial Tea Rooms. Look at these, guys. Oh, I found these vintage bird scans, and they're just so beautiful. And what I've done in this journal too, Louise, is I did some of my own doodling. And I am not an artist, but I really wanted to add some of me to the journal. So I just took Spiced Marmalade Distress Marker, and I did some like faux stitching and some little flowers on here. I just added that, and there's a few other places where I did that as well. Here's an embellished tag I got on. This may have been Joanne as well, but I'm not 100% sure. And then this is from a Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. I just clipped that in there as well. One of my paper ribbons, some stamping. This is from a botanical book, Beans, Gourds, Pumpkins, and Poles. I added some beautiful lace, and this is sandcastles. This paper is really shimmery and shiny, and that added a lot. Here's from Tracy's shop, and more of that, as I called it, liquid gold little bit from Seneca Pond that I put in there. This is from Ellen Welby, I think it is. She was a vintage illustrator. She has the most adorable little images. So I added this little girl and her cat. And then I used the distress markers again, and I drew a little flower and some leaves. This is, you know, it's a one of a kind. No, I'm not an artist, but I just wanted to add some personal touches, so I put that on here, and I do like how it came out. Another one of my vintage drawing cards. This is a squirrel, and then a little piece from Tracy on there. One of Tracy's pockets. Look at how gorgeous. I am just even cutting, when you cut these out, and I should have shown you the cheesecloth that she has around here, it goes up above the edges, so as you're cutting it out, if you feel like you're trimming off cheesecloth, it's a really neat feeling. A little Tim Holtz person, and then this is from a travel book, a map of France here, and I just tucked that in the pocket. This is also Tracy, and then I added the Tim Holtz By the Light of the Moon, and then that opens. This is one of her backgrounds. You can journal. And this is her botanical collection, part of that. And then I have a couple of journal spaces here. And then there's a sticker, and I drew a couple little flowers. This is from Tracy as well. There's some Prima butterflies. I'm almost out of these. If anybody has Prima butterflies and you'd like to send them to me, I will make you a journal, a mini journal, because someone sent me those. Not sure exactly where I can find them. If you know where I can find them, let me know. I'm almost out, and I use them in a lot of journals. Here's a little map of the United States in a file folder, different tags tucked in here. It says always be curious. I found this scan of a vintage book cover called Beauty in Common Things. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So I added that in here. Some lace and a button. This is from Tracy. Some map. It says love is spontaneous. It's the other side of this. It folds in half. Here's another one of the Ellen Welby illustrations. This has the bunny rabbits, and then I drew this vine with the little tiny floral buds, and then a Tim Holtz side by side. Another one of Tracy's pockets, and then just a little flip out scrapbook paper and a vintage ticket. More book pages. That's also from Tracy. And then I made some book page pockets. These are from travel books, and this is from Tracy. I just tucked that in the little pocket there. This is also from Tracy. So gorgeous. More of those beautiful bird illustrations I found. Here's a little banner I made from some scrapbook paper and lace. This is from Tracy. It's just a tuck. You can tuck in photos or things. book page, more embroidery, another pocket, book page pocket, and again from Tracy. Just tucked it in there as some more ephemera. I love how this journal came out. I wish I could keep it. I don't need any more journals. I have plenty, but I want more journals, we'll put it that way. But I am so excited to get these in the mail to you today, Lori Louise. And here's your thank you journal. You saw a picture of it. I don't have time to film every thank you journal that I make, but since these two are for you, I thought I'd flip through it quickly and just show you. I love the light gray. It says the proper use of the words. We've got Tim Holtz. We've got lace. It's just very simple. Here's your thank you for 1,000 sales on Etsy. And then just little bits. There's birds and flowers throughout. I think Joanne made that too. I've been putting her stuff everywhere. Doily, just from my Blue Skies collection. I just added little bits here and there so you have space to make it your own. But I just wanted to show you this quickly so that you get an idea of what the thank you journals look like. So I'm getting this out right now. I hope everybody has a delicious day. I will see you in the next video. Can't wait to chat about what's next. I have so many things going on. I took the day off yesterday to take my boys to the lake, and we spent over 3 hours at the lake playing and swimming. So I've got a lot to catching up to do, but I hope you all have a beautiful day.